pricing. Okay, let's talk about pricing and margins because this is super important to understand, especially if you're using FBA. Okay, pricing. It's hard for companies who already have existing products, but if you're a company who's developing new products, I think it's very hard to be highly profitable on Amazon selling things for less than $25-$30. It's just hard unless you have the budget to do big volumes and sell tons of units.
Right.
It's very hard to
Which is the
profit.
reason why a lot of people group
Small
ticket items into 4-packs, 6-packs, so they can add up to $25-$30 total.
Right.
Like you said, so that's how the fixed fees amortize over.
You want to
the
get your
number of
average
packs.
order value to like $30 plus. If you can get there, you'll be in good shape. And then on the margin side, gross margins, as in before Amazon takes their cut, what are your sale price minus your cost of goods, right? The gross margin.
Right. Before you even ship to Amazon, what is your price?
Don't bother if it's less than 50%. Don't even bother on Amazon. Ideally, 60% or more. I mean, that's just the truth these days because it's so competitive because you have to factor in all the costs, especially if you have a lower price product. So let's say you're selling something for $20, okay? Amazon's going to take 15% off the top, okay? So that's $3 right there. Then you have FBA fees. Depending on the size of your product, let's say you have like a mid-sized product, your fee is going to be $4 to $5 on top of that. So that's already $7-8 out of your $20 price that is gone straight to Amazon. And then if your cost of goods, let's say you have a 50% margin, you spent 10 on cost of goods, then that's 7-8 to Amazon. You're left with $2 or $3. That's for advertising. And let's say you have a really good return on advertising of 5 to 1. Okay, well, it still doesn't make sense because you're spending $4 to sell a unit, so you're spending basically $22 to make 20.
But let me ask you, so I know the fees, but I don't know exactly the numbers. I mean, I look them up all the time. But let's say that I sell a product or pack for $30 on Amazon. After all the fees, the FBA fees, the Amazon fixed fees, storage fees, whatever, roughly, what is the percentage of Amazon fees that I can expect to be paying for my $30 product? In other words, when that sells,
it totally depends on the
category. I understand, on the type of product.
The standard fee is 15%. It varies. There's some categories that are more or less, but let's just say you're a normal product
in the 15% range.
15%.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's 15%. Doesn't matter what it is. The only thing that varies as a percentage is the FBA fee. That's why I said you want to sell things for more. Because if your FBA fee is $5 a unit, then at $30, that's 20%.
What is the FBA?
At $50,
what is the FBA based on?
It's based on size and dimensions.
Size and dimensions
or
of the product.
weight and dimensions. Sorry.
Okay, right, dimensional weight that they call it. So
if you have a big product, you're going to spend more.
Right. So let's say a company that sells. I want to make some specific answers or a little more.
Let me go back to the $30 example. The reason why I say you want the higher price, the better, is because at $30, if your FBA fee is 4 or 5, let's say 5 for ease of math here, that would be 20% of your price. If you sell the same thing for $50, your FBA fee is still $5.
No, I understand
so now
that.
it's only 10%.
Right.
That's what.
But that's what I was trying to. If the minimum, the average value of the average cost is $30, which is what we say is the minimum that you should sell things for. It recommended.
You can do less, but again,
I understood.
It's
but
based on volume.
But let me start with some specific numbers. Let's say that I sell normal products. I'm not going to sell televisions or anything big, but just sell like whatever, mouse or things that are packageable, and then the package is just a 4-pack or something that is not dimensionally too large. So approximately, if that sells a 4-pack or 6-pack or a single pack, it doesn't matter, for $30, and then will we say that maybe the total of Amazon fees will be about 20%, 25% of that value? In other words,
for $30,
for $30, yeah, for $30, maybe like
let's say
$7,
your
$8.
FBA fees are not 5 and it's lower, and you're at the 350 range, which is like they have different tiers. You can just go on Google, search FBA fee table, you'll find it. Let's say it's 350. Okay, so 15%. At what price did you say?
$30. So basically,
okay, so that'd be 450 plus 350. That's $8.
Right.
8 divided by 30.
Okay, so
that's basically the Amazon fees. But it depends on what you're selling.
So we're looking at just to put a number, like you said, 8 divided by 30. So what about 25-30% of your cost? So you sell something for.
That's why I said, if your gross margins are less than 50%, don't bother with Amazon. You will never make money. And ideally, you want to be 60%.
Because that's the question that we get, I mean, worded in different ways, but that's the most common question, because a lot of companies, even established companies, are used to their own shopping cart margins, where, like you said, if they sell something for $30 and their cost is actually, let's say, 12, 14, they say, okay, yeah, we pay hosting fees, blah, 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 all that stuff. But then they pocket the whole thing. And then whether they have free shipping or not, something is up to them. But at least they know their margins. Now, what they don't realize is that when they go to Amazon, they have all these other fees. Obviously, Amazon is giving them the hugest or the largest marketplace online that exists. But they're going to charge you for it, and they do everything.
There's actually one other fee I didn't mention, and that's the cost of shipping your products to the Amazon warehouses. That obviously costs money too. There's ways to mitigate those costs, but yeah, you have to factor that into. I just wanted to mention that when people are doing their calculations, you always have to pay to ship your pallets to an Amazon warehouse in the first place.
So even though they give you a special break and stuff because they have agreements with other shippers, still a cost. But you still have to pay for it, obviously. So yeah, that's the biggest, I guess, misconception when companies don't realize that you're exchanging the fact that Amazon is doing everything for you for the fact that they're going to charge you more, obviously. So I like to voice it like, listen, you're gonna make less profit, or sometimes even no profit. I mean, you're gonna break even if you sell on Amazon, but you're gonna get a lot of exposure there too. Is that a good trade-off? Basically saying,
again, it totally depends on the company strategy.
Well, I understand, but if a company like one of the hardest things for some companies is to find the budget on top of that for advertising. And they say, okay, well...
if you don't have advertising budget, don't go on Amazon. It's not worth it.
But they may be advertising outside of Amazon. That's the thing. So, but they want
advertising that is with the intention of driving traffic, whether it's specifically on Amazon ads or other ads. If you're not spending on advertising for Amazon, I wouldn't bother, because it's just, you're not going to rank anywhere, and it's a whole lot of work for not a lot of money if you're not advertising, basically.
What if you have a product that's a little more unique?